if you brush your teeth and all that type of stuff, just get the toothpaste off the sink. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man. I'm Howard Hughes III. I am a high net worth wealth manager, author, speaker, and business broker. Most importantly, I care about your success.
All right. What's going on?
How you doing?
Good. Welcome to Creations.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me.
Good. How can I help you today?
Shoot. Let me get some Maui.
Okay.
And, one of those. Actually, is it a berry blast?
Yeah. Long.
Okay.
All right.
That's right.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Well, we're here with another episode of Drinking with the Creatives. It's been a while. Had a lot going on. We did want to bring a special guest in here because we want to, showcase and highlight people and what they have going on, especially when they're doing great things in the community and helping people in general, whether it be people or businesses. And my next guest, his name is Howard Hughes III. He's an author. He's a host of many things, a serial entrepreneur. But what I want to do is actually allow him to talk and talk about what he has going on for the people. So without further ado, I want to introduce Howard Hughes III. My man, appreciate you coming through.
Hey man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And for those who don't know, who is Howard Hughes III?
Man, that's a great question. Young man from Kalamazoo, Michigan originally, actually.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that. I do so much work in St. Louis. And a lot of people actually believe that I'm from here now. So,
right.
But I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, man. Grew up in a poverty-stricken, very disenfranchised environment. But I always had that drive and ambition to want to empower our people.
Right.
So I just lived my life out through that. And I think that's what life is all about, finding your God-given ability and doing everything in your power to live your life out through that God-given ability. And I think I do that the best I can.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
How long have you actually been doing that? How long have you been helping people? How long have you been helping companies? How long have you actually been doing what you do?
I've always did it sporadically as I could. Even growing up, I did what I could in the community, working with nonprofit organizations, giving back, working with, like we call it a drop-in center where, people would donate things and we would give back to the homeless.
Right.
I was homeless several times in my life, but I would work in those shelters to help give back to the communities, and we were like a family. So.
Wow.
When I got to the point, and even throughout college and post-college, I found ways to work in the community, and in any capacity, even if I was working on someone else's umbrella, as long as I was having that serving spirit, until I got in a position where I can do those things on my own.
Right.
And but yeah, it's been a journey for me. It's been throughout my life, and now I'm in a position to be able to do it on my own, under my own umbrella, and then bring other young kids, individuals in who is looking for that servant spirit as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely who Howard Hughes III is. Now talk to us about what you actually do. What you actually bring to the people and how they can benefit from it.
You know what, man? I am. I do a number of different things. For work. I am a business developer. I work with investments and investors and private equity groups, and I manage their money. I manage their accounts, and I use that to. And that's the business side. Right. As far as working in the community, what I do is I buy food and I feed certain different neighborhoods, poverty-stricken neighborhoods, similar to how I grew up.
Right.
I buy a U-Haul truck, buy the food. I get a bunch of kids from the community, that same community, to help me box that food up and give it out in those neighborhoods.
Right.
I'm thankful to be in a position. But that's what I do, and I do it weekly. I do it every single week. I find a different neighborhood that needs some help.
Yeah.
We all need a break. I remember several times in my life where me and my siblings, we went and got food from some sort of center, some sort of church that helped us out, helped us
100%.
Get through the rest of the week, and we would figure something else out next week, right?
100%.
So that's what I do, man. And the main part of through that is finding those kids that are in those environments and bringing them in, so that way they don't really look at their situation as that bad, because we're encountering people every day who are in a much worse situation.
100%.
All you need is confidence to get through life. So them believing that, we still have no hope. We still have opportunities, even though I have less than my peers, it's still great opportunities available for me.
Right.
And just showcasing that to the youth. empowering them.
And that mentality kind of falls in line with like your theme, I think, because your thing is it's possible.
It's possible.
So that's really what you're out here preaching, and whether it be to communities, even to adults, because a lot of adults feel like they're stuck, they're lost, or they might feel overwhelmed. And come talk to me about like the mentality it takes to actually go from the poverty situation, because that's a mentality more than it is a circumstance. So how important is that to stay focused and have a strong mentality throughout everything, even though it might look gloom and doom?
Yeah, man. Nothing is ever what it is currently.
Right.
You know, it's always what it could be. And that's I know
That's true though.
It sounds super simple.
Right.
But it's true.
Right.
Everything is always what it has potential. Everything has potential.
That's a fact.
But do you have what it takes to live up to that potential? Most people don't live up to their potential.
Right.
Because they don't believe that they don't have the confidence to do so.
Right.
It's all about confidence. So that's what I do with anyone that I meet, any child, any adult. My job is to instill confidence in you so that way you can believe that anything is possible.
Right.
There was a point in time I had nothing. I'm homeless, I'm living with friends. My friends that are watching this, they grew up with me. Remember when I didn't have a place to stay, that didn't have a dime in my pocket, they was loaning me some money to get, or borrowing shoes from them, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I always knew, even at that time, that one day I would never have to worry about money ever again. Sure, not too long after I was in that position.
Right.
But it's just confidence, man. But creating that picture for yourself, you know, what does that look like for you? What does success look like for you? Not just reaching it, but keeping it.
Right.
And that's another thing that comes along with the confidence too, is how do you stay successful? I don't want to just be here for a short time. I want to be here for a long time.
Right.
But I have to do that through putting other people in position to be successful.
Right.
And not just be successful, for them to stay successful.
Right.
You know, so it's almost like a pyramid type of thing, man.
Right.
But that's the mentality that you got to have, because if you pour out, you never run out. So if you continue to give and build people up, you'll always be in position.
Right.
And a lot of people look at that as, someone told me, it's like you're being used. People are using you. If you can't be used, you're useless.
That's the truth. Right.
But you only can use what I allow you to use.
That's the track.
Just keeping that mentality, man, and that's what it's about. That's how I think about it. I don't ever look at it as someone's using me. I don't ever look at it as I'm gonna run out of resources, because as long as I can think it, I'm always gonna have the resources to make it happen.
Right. No, I agree with that a whole 100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we do what we do here too. You know, we try to use our momentum and our success that we get and shed light on other people and other companies and what they got to do, because the motto is our success is based on your success.
Yeah.
And vice versa, like you just said. And how would you, from the business standpoint, just to throw some numbers out there, just to tell people what you actually do so they know who they talking to, and you know, you're not just talking out here. Some of the companies and some of the things that you manage, what's some of the numbers, and talk to us about some of the projects you have going on.
I got quite a bit, man. I have a construction company right now. We're doing a very big project. We're doing maybe 18 million, development here in St. Louis. My nonprofit, we just bought a building right on Natural Bridge and St. Charles Rock Road.
Okay.
$4 million building, $2 million development right there. You right by there, that's my building there.
Wow.
Partnering with actually Connie, who just walked up out of here. But, we got quite a few projects going on, man. I'm doing a subdivision down in Dallas. That's a $60 million development. So we're just rolling,
Right.
I'm just keeping it going, just trying to build people up as much as I can.
That's what's up.
But also kind of showcase that to the youth, that you can be versatile. I can go out and hang out with them at the youth boxing gym.
Right.
And I also can walk into a meeting suit and tie and be able to handle someone offering me $10 million to invest for them.
Right.
So, and I let them see all of that. They come to meetings with me. They see everything that I got going on. They see that, and then they see me in the gym.
Yeah, that's
then
what's
they see
up.
me with a nonprofit. I want them to see all the different phases, but being able to have that transition, that it requires a different you for every setting.
Right.
And they laugh at me about that all the time. So.
And one of the things I noticed too, because I always see you, always working out, especially with the kids. How important is it to working out and tie into your success too? Like, What does working out do for you mentally and physically to actually be able to be successful? Do you see a correlation to that?
Yeah, certainly. For me, it is. It's
Right.
a balance. You know, I'm able to work with the youth. I'm able to get a mental balance. I want to challenge myself. If you quit on yourself in a workout, you're quitting yourself in a tough project. I have had some projects that have mentally stressed me out more than a boxing match or a sparring match with somebody. So just being able to stay mentally strong. There's been times where, in my world, in the past, I'd go 8 months without a paycheck.
Right.
Now, getting started, not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
You know, where it's grinding 60 hours a week, 100 hours a week, and no paycheck for 8 months.
Right.
How many people can go through that?
Right.
So performing at the highest level possible, your highest level, consistently, 7 days a week, 100 hours a week, without losing enthusiasm. Still meeting all day long. I'm talking about waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, going to sleep midnight, every day, not getting paid for 8 months. It's tough.
Yeah.
So challenging yourself in a workout, pushing yourself to run that 5 miles, that 7 miles, and you're still not seeing results in your body.
Right.
You still don't feel like you're actually getting in shape. So just that mental challenge, it's tough.
And that happens a lot too.
Oh my God.
That's why people quit or get overwhelmed. Just, especially when you're coming from certain circumstances, even if things feel like too big for you, you feel overwhelmed. And once you feel overwhelmed, people usually tend to quit, give up, or just not start at all. So, like, what advice would you give? Like, say if someone is right now working at Walmart, but they want to get into business. Because I did see something you said, I thought it was good though. You said it was a term in marketing, right? You said, no such thing as not a market. Just put it out there and people will buy.
Right.
So, but people are kind of scared to jump out there because, like you said, I need my paycheck, I need this, that, and the third. So, what advice or how can someone start where they at right now? You know what I'm saying? If someone was coming to you and be like, hey, this is what I want to do, is there anything they can?
So yeah, but depending on where you are financially determines the timeline as well.
Okay.
So what business plan do you have in place? Even if you're broke, even if you're dead broke, what business plan do you have? What idea do you have? What steps do you have to conquer that, even if money wasn't a problem? So when I first meet somebody, if money wasn't a problem, what's the game plan on putting this together? Because money should be money should be the last thing that you worry about. The plan. A lot of people have money, but they can't execute because they don't have an idea. I would do something totally different now than what I would have did 10 years ago with $1 million,
Right.
$100,000, $50,000. You know, so the first thing I said, what's the plan? If you pull a solid plan together, investors will come. Even now, when I come up with ideas, I put a solid plan together. I go talk to my investors. I meet with about 6 investors this weekend in Dallas. They called me yesterday. I booked a flight last night. I'm going to Dallas on Friday. Random meeting, but my game plan, my business plan was together. They don't care the amount that I'm asking for. They want to know that I have my stuff together through that solid plan. So the first thing with the plan is, what's the idea? Who we're targeting? What's the rate of return? How much revenue you plan to run up? And then what's the rate of return? So those are a few things that they're going to ask for. As long as I have that together, the game plan of individuals who I have to run the operation, they're like, look, Howard, let's do it. You got it all together.
Right.
You know, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you coming out and sharing what you got going on and how people can actually benefit from it as well. Let me ask you, are you dealing with all companies, no matter the size it is? Because especially in our community, a lot of the businesses we might first start out with might be barbershops and nail salons, whatever the case may be, but how can people scale that? Like, is that something you would recommend to, you know?
Yeah, so that's actually how I got started, was working with businesses, no matter the sizes. Actually, some of the businesses that are in this platform, even the UPS that was up, I don't know if it's still there.
It's right here now.
Oh, right there?
Yeah.
So
It
work
was
with
over
them
here,
on
though.
how they can scale their businesses up. But in order to scale, also have to have a solid plan, but are you scalable?
Right.
You know, so, but yeah, putting the businesses in place, giving them a game plan on how they can do it. When businesses fails, normally because of only a few things. Either finances, they don't have a game plan, their structure. So structure is really important. A lot of people don't have a system in place. Like, what system do you place on hiring? What system do you place on managing money? What system do you have in place on banking or on loans or expansion?
Right.
What do you have in place for that? And then once you have all those things in place, if you have finances, structure, and then recruitment, you can grow. Those are really the main things to grow in the business. So when I come in, I ask them, what's the game plan on growing? What systems do we have in place to maintain the growth? You don't want to grow beyond your structure.
Right.
A lot of businesses fail that way. They have everything in place in order to reach $30 million in revenue, but they don't have the structure that's in place in order to manage it.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's pretty black and white. Obviously, the bigger the corporation is, it'll take a little more resources and a little more structure, but the system is the same. So,
cool, man. Well, you did order some tacos, some mahi mahi tacos. So, let's get those and let's see how you like them, and let's get this thing going.
this works. I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All right, good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Good, man. It's the mahi mahi tacos. And a lot of people don't sell mahi mahi, so that's another thing that separates us from a lot of other people as well. Because, we're serving and doing things a lot of other people aren't doing. And the passion and the intentions that we put behind things. Because one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too was intention. I think that's a key element that people be missing. Like, we're just out here freestyling and willy-nilly, but the intention behind what you're doing is kind of like the structure and stuff you're talking about. So I think that's important, and we put our intention into actually making sure that the people enjoy the product, whether they come in here or whether they actually order it online. That's the goal and intention behind us doing these things. So
the experience.
Yeah, the experience, exactly. So I wanted to ask you this too because, excuse me, I noticed you just graduated from Harvard.
I did.
Business school. So I wanted to congratulate you on that.
I appreciate that, man.
That was a big deal because number one, in our community especially, school is really looked down upon. Like, especially if you're a black male, the music tells you otherwise and society kind of tells you otherwise right now.
Yeah.
But what made you go back to school in the midst of all your success that you was having already?
Yeah.
Was it the networking? Like, what was it that made you go back to that school?
You know what, man? I needed another challenge. It's an addiction, man. Success is addictive. To be able to continue to challenge yourself beyond your limitations. I actually had an opportunity to go for undergrad.
Okay.
And some things happened in college, didn't make it, and it bothered me ever since. So I told myself, even no matter how long it takes, I need to go back and get a degree from Harvard. And it was just something I did for me. Nothing from no one else or anything else. I just wanted to challenge myself, man, and I did it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? What, the networking?
Networking is great. You meet people from across the country, especially when you're doing different things online. I had people in Europe and Africa and all in my same class.
Right.
But it was a great experience. It was entrepreneurship, so I did a lot of directing in the class. I had a lot of hands-on experience compared to a lot of people that I was in class with. I was doing a lot of the business plans. I had a lot of extra information further than a lot of people that was in the class. A lot of businesses that they were trying to do, I've worked with. So it was great networking. It also made me valuable in the class when we did our group projects and our different collaboratives. But it was a great experience, man.
Man, that's good, man. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that too is because the reason why I said how it's a stigma in our community especially, because people stop studying when they get out of high school.
Yeah.
Or if they don't have to do it if they're in college. But studying also is a part of building your skills.
So research.
It's a research, right?
Yeah.
And we never talk about research in the community. But how important is it for the research and to actually get your skills?
Man,
you know what I mean?
Research is the only reason I'm here. From the beginning, I had to study what I do. I have to be the best at my craft. Me personally, I don't believe that there's anyone that knows more about money, investments, real estate, what to do with money than I do. And that's how you should be. You should be confident in your craft. Now, if you're talking about engineering, if you're talking about something, something else, okay, you may have me. But in this field, that's what I do. So just specialize in something. Specialize in something, study it. You have to know it. There's new things coming out about taxes, about how to source your organization. Also, how to market. People are marketing different. You got to be able to transition with the times.
Right.
The new color schemes are different now.
Right.
How to design your building. Just paying attention to those things as an entrepreneur, so that way you can reach your target.
Right.
But then also you have to study your target market.
Yes.
What do they want? What do they look like? But not knowing that, just jumping out there can hinder your business from growth.
Right.
So.
You know, one thing I never understood is I never understood how people say they're bored. Because there's always something you could be doing. You could be researching something. There's always something you could be doing.
Yeah.
Exploring the city or whatever it is if you just want to have some fun. But another quick question I wanted to ask you too is talk to me about willpower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that inner fortitude to keep going. If someone doesn't have it right now, how would you suggest that they would get it? You know what I'm saying? If they feeling down, might be depressed, because there's a lot of depression going on, and you might not even know it.
Yeah, and I believe, me personally, man, I believe that comes, you have to find a balance. Like, what inspires you? You know, you circle who you're around. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
So if you're telling me you're depressed, if you're telling me that you don't have a lot going on, I would want to know who your friends are, what your circle looks like.
Right.
Who do you communicate with on a day-to-day basis? My friends, when they call me, they're talking about things that they just accomplished.
Right.
I'm getting up out my seat when I'm sitting down watching TV, and my friend pull up with a $500,000 Lamborghini to my house, and he's like, "Hey, Howard, when are you gonna get yours?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, let me get up out my seat."
Right.
You know, it's just, I got to put a business plan together. I need to call my contacts and find out who I need to reach out to. It's just, who's inspiring you? So mental depression is real, but I think that's also comes from imbalance. You don't have a balance. Where are you spiritually? You know, and I don't want to dive too deep into it, but that's true.
No, definitely.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What pushes you? What drives you? Even if you don't have, I don't have kids or anything like that, but I'm inspired by the youth.
Yeah.
When I run into my kids and they never saw a Maybach before, and they're smiling ear to ear, now he's working 10 times harder in the gym because he wants one too.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know,
inspiration.
So that boils down to inspiration. What's inspiring you? Who you're around. You're inspired by who you're around and what you look at daily.
And don't be afraid to cut people off too.
Oh, that's part of the
you know what I mean?
Process.
Because I did see you say something too. You said the same people that love me, the same people that hate me.
Yeah.
So it kind of, if you have that mentality, that also keeps you a little more even keel.
Yeah.
You don't get too high, you don't get too low. And you kind of could take things as it comes along.
When accomplishments, you do it and you move on and go do something else.
Right.
After you did it, it's the past now.
Right.
You know, we talked about graduation. Hey, I want something else. I mean, I'm happy about it.
Right,
but
for sure.
I'm on to something else
Right.
now. You know what I mean? And it's been good, but be around people that are achieving great things so you can achieve more.
Yeah, because I didn't even see you really like celebrate it that much, and it just made me think like you're just taking things as stride, and that's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's how I just look into people's mentality on how they actually move.
Yeah.
And it can kind of tell you the glimpse in the story they're telling themselves, which is, like you said earlier, is the most important part. Like, you know, what are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I'm also on to the next thing. You know what I mean? I sit in the moment for a second. I have a good time. I celebrate with my friends. I talk a lot of smack. But after that, you know, what else are you gonna do? So that commercial, I don't know if you guys remember with Kanye West and Kobe Bryant, and he asked him. He said, "More." You know, remember he told him, and he said, "What is that?" He said, "Can you be the same beast but a different monster?" And Kanye was like, "What are you talking about, Kobe Bryant?" He said, "I need more." That was his response. Just keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to transition to something different. Each part of your life is going to require a different you in order to reach that new level.
That's a fact.
Don't be okay with staying the same.
Right.
You know, transition a little bit.
Yeah.
Go a little harder. Wake up a little bit earlier.
Comfortable is the root of all evil.
Yeah. Get out of that.
Being comfortable is the root of all evil, man.
Get out of that comfort
That's a fact.
place. Yeah.
Well, we're going to transition to the current news real quick.
Okay.
You got Phoenix or Milwaukee, man?
I want Chris to go ahead and get one.
Exactly.
But,
I'm with you there.
You know, it is what it is.
Okay.
You know.
Now, I know you're a boxing guy. You got Spencer Pacquiao.
That's going to be a nice fight. I believe Spence.
Okay.
This is going. You know what?
Oh, come on now.
Spence is my guy.
Okay.
Pacquiao's is top 5 of all time.
You know what's so crazy about that question? Nobody brings up the PEDs for Pacquiao. If that was anybody else, it would be an asterisk next to their name.
Yeah.
People just forget about that fact that he was using PEDs.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I got you.
Pac, he's but Errol Spence, this right here is gonna take him to a new level. So he knock out top 5 all time, Pacquiao. Now he ready for Tug.
Yeah.
Crawford.
Well, yeah.
So that has to happen.
That has to happen.
That has to happen.
That has to happen.
I can't see anything else happening after
Who
that.
you going for that one? And that's a tough one.
I don't think nobody could beat Tug.
Really?
Nobody.
I mean,
I don't think anybody can beat him.
Really?
Right now in this moment, I don't think nobody can beat Terence Crawford.
Now, I will say the only person I think is Spence, because I forgot the fight he fought.
Yeah.
That dude gave him a tough time.
Yeah.
And that dude was, everybody's a fighter. Anything can happen anytime. But you can't really fall asleep with somebody like Spence. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he took the guy a little lightly or whatever the case may be, but you got dazed a few times and it was a little tough one. But I like his killer instinct though. It's kind of different.
Terence Crawford is very versatile.
Yeah.
So he reminds me of Floyd in a lot of ways because, but a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
He'll get in the ring, he'll study you for a couple rounds,
Yeah.
and then he'll know how to beat you by the third round. So he'll play around and with you hop around and go out there, but he's learning you for 3 rounds.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
For the rest of the fight, he's gonna beat you up.
Yeah, that's a fact. I give it to you there.
So. Okay.
Are you more of a morning person or an evening person?
I'm a morning person.
Okay.
I'm a morning person. I know a lot of people who are evening and night people. But I get up early. I'm ready to go. I'm cleaning. I'm getting ready for my day. I'm starting my day. I'm writing my day out, my week out.
So you write your day out
every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I write my day out. Like that's a priority, or else my whole day will fall apart. So nothing. If I don't write my day out, nothing will get done. So I gotta write my day out, man, for sure.
I just started using the Google Calendar, man, so I understand.
I'm talking about hour by hour though, man. I'm talking about throughout the entire day. Then I realize how much free time that I have. But that's big for me. Yeah, man, I gotta stay organized.
That's funny, man. And just give me one thing that you hate.
Being late. Like, don't show up late to my meetings. I don't care if we're working out together. Just be on time. That's big for me. I don't like that. Pretty clean person too. If you brush your teeth and all that type of stuff, just get the toothpaste off the sink. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man. Just brush your teeth. Just put a little water. Just put a little water on it. You know what I mean? Just turn it on and just do that a little bit. But that's it.
Yeah. Make the bed up if you're leaving.
If you leave it.
Yeah, I understand.
Make the bed up. When you wash clothes, don't leave your clothes sitting on the bed.
Right.
So if I want to take a nap at 5 o'clock, you got clothes on the bed. Now I gotta go take a nap on the couch.
Oh man, not
just,
putting it away. So yeah. Yeah, I feel you there. And
anybody who watching this, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm talking about you. So, and always like, so give me one thing you love though.
Oh man, I love seeing people inspired by something that they saw from me, something that I did, something that they saw from me, man. That gives me a lot of peace. So I had some young kids who came out yesterday while we were feeding the community. We were in the Groves over in North County, and I had a kid. He was 13 out there. First day, throwing us a possible shirt, was out there giving out food. Actually, it was a lady named Deanne, her son. But yeah, he was out there, he was ready to go. He was just happy to be giving back.
Right.
But he saw what I was doing, and it just inspired him to also want to do the same thing. He's 13 years old, so he in the right direction.
No, for sure.
So, yeah.
Oh man, appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank you, man.
Pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Tacos.
I love it.
Have the Long Story drink, and you can get everything here at 225 Salt Lake Road, Creation Smoothie and Juice Bar. It's another episode of Drinking with the Creatives, and we out. Peace.